know what would be a good idea is to lower the seeder when you actually hit the row, and then drive forwards. Driving forwards also a good plan. Nice. Okay, so as I said, we'll get this patch done. We're going to store the seeder up in the arable yard because it's a seeder and it's used on arable crops. I am going to need a planter at some point, but I think when it comes to planters, if we're going to be doing maize to create maize silage, I'm not going to be too fussed about not having a planter this year. We just know we need maize silage coming sometime. So planting maize, I will probably look at purchasing next year from our amazing farm income. But right now we'll stick to cereals and canola and maybe soybeans. Although I really didn't go for soybeans this year. I should be cutting this field this way rather than laterally, but oh well, it is what it is. Because we just have to turn more frequently planting in this direction. However, planting across the field does mean we're not straining to drive up and down, which is a thing. Okay, let's get that lined up. And it's 12:15. So, expectations next week. Mrs. Osa will be back. She's returning actually tomorrow. So, we did not have the kids this weekend for obvious reasons, because it's just me. And teenage Osas are out of state as well, so it's like, do a 9 and 5-year-old want to play with someone like me at my age? Probably not, so they'll be back next week as well. Typically we are picking them up on a Friday and they sleep over until Sunday afternoon. So they will probably, they'll probably be here on Saturday morning, making a noise, watching SpongeBob, trying to get me copyright strikes listening to SpongeBob loud, but it is what it is. Hopefully I'll have had some time to build the planter, or the planting box, the seed box, the thing, what we're going to plant things in, and if we do that, I may be buying more wood to make another one, but I'll let you know how it turns out next week. As I said, might not happen this afternoon because it might be raining. I think tomorrow there is no chance of rain, so if the worst comes to the worst, I can build it tomorrow before Mrs. Osa gets home, because I'm not really expecting her before, I'm guessing, about 6 PM. And she'll be tired, so that's the thing. Saturday, so I haven't heard out what's happening with the car, so I'll probably have to check in with the garage on Monday to see where that's sitting. go out and look at a used car lot, which unfortunately is closed on Saturdays, so I can't buy anything to replace the truck at the moment, but I can at least look and see if what I want to look at is a potential or just no. That's generally the problem with car shopping. Is it a car I want? Is it a car I'm not I want? And then take it out for a test drive to see if it works. Also, shopping for a car while there's nobody at the dealership does mean you can wander around at your leisure and they're not hassling you every 5 minutes. Because their job is, we want to sell you a car and we don't want you to leave until you've got one. And sometimes you just want to go and look at it and say, yeah, no, this is a real estate. I don't want this one. We'll see. Again, depends if it rains or not, because I'm not going to go out to a used car dealer in the rain to look at cars, because that's just, again, not particularly comfortable. Okay, I did notice I've missed a patch in the bottom corner behind me. So, what I might do, we'll lift here. Looks like I missed a bit there too, so how's about we tidy up the bottom of this field while I can, and drop that there and put half a litre of seeds in the ground, and I'll run over here and grab this corner too. Hedge. Drive this up here, we'll back it up as straight as I can get it. Ooh, that's good. And yay, done. Okay, let's get back on the rows. And then, of course, once I've got the planters done, I can get back to the railroad woodworking projects. But again, that's I don't have a lot of space to work in the basement because there's so much other stuff down there that needs to be tidied up and cleared out. It'll be a lot easier once I free up some wall space to mount the bookshelves. Once the bookshelves in, we can empty boxes which are full of books at the moment and free up floor space. And that got that. Nice. I'm actually not using a full 3 rows here to get this straight. Problem is it's kind of looking like I'm using about 2.5. Which is enough to be a little bit of an issue. have we got left? 4 full rows and a... Bleh. So I'm guessing next week, end of April, we will be doing contracts and mowing. That's about it. For May, we have weeds and fertilizer and do we have anything else to do? I don't know. Also, if we make 40,000, then obviously I can look at using our perishables money to get a roller so we can roll these 2 fields. Not too worried about mulching until we start harvesting. Which won't be for a few months yet. Potentially this sorghum may be the first thing we harvest. I think from the crop calendar. The problem is this is so short. From the crop calendar. Oh no, sorghum is August. We're going to have the canola and barley and stuff in July. So this will not be the first thing out of the ground. But we do have a lot of harvesting to do this year. So it's going to be a lot busier than it has been. And done. And about face and the last triangle. Whee! Nice. Good news is it's the width of the cedar, so yay for that. And that is year 7 planting done. Years played 6, so it's year 6 planting done and year 7 harvest. Although actually some of the early stuff like the barley and the oats and the canola will be harvested in year 6. Okay, what do I want to do? I want to turn off GPS, which is now done. Okay. There's a building gone missing. Why is there a building missing there? You know what I think that building is? It's the it's our old farmhouse. It's the index number for that building is what our original farmhouse used to be. And I removed our original farmhouse, and it came back when I loaded the, or I updated the new map version. Anyway, we are here. I will unload the seeds right about here. Boop. Didn't even use a full pallet. And so spray off that, clean off this. So new cedar, nice. Actually, I might be using that tomorrow on some contracts. We'll see what's still out there. But for right now, I think we should put it somewhere. You know what? I don't have 3 or 4 tractors, so I think Cedar can go in this shed. Nah. And that's... That's better. Okay, let's get this lined up. And right there. And then I'll put the John Deere in the next bay over this time. Just happens to be easier to put tractors in this corner than it does most implements, but that end bay is clear enough that you could put something in it that's not a tractor. Okay, you are good. Drive, engine off. I need to go find the Massey Ferguson, which is there. I'm gonna hitch it up to this trailer, which again we got on sale and I've almost never used, because why would you? It's our production is too much for this trailer to cope with. We used to transport tomatoes on it once upon a time. Okay, now let's go find that guy. So I'll put the bale spike over here. We may end up selling it, because I'm not sure I'm going to be using a skid steer on this farm anymore, or in this yard anymore. But I might want a bale spike for the telehandler. Can I lower that? Yes. Okay. And we roll off. Oh, come on, will you? Good. Go forwards and turn. There now. Oh. No. Backwards. Get that lined up. This is so bingo, done. Engine, jump off, strap. And lift it up, and we shall go take this over to the other yard. And this is actually one of the main reasons I got this trailer, was so I can transfer the tiny lifters between facilities. At this point, I have a tiny lifter at every single facility. The bakery, the dairy, and the flour mill. And we have a telehandler at the cow yard, because the telehandler is a little bit more useful than the rest of them. The reason the tele trucks aren't useful is because they are not very stable when picking up very, very big bales. And since we deal with very, very big bales, they're not the best piece of equipment to use. Skid steer, much better. The difference is that it doesn't have the reach that the tele trucks do. So we've got tele trucks out at various productions and a skid steer at one of them. And telehandler is definitely the thing to have for our animal yard. And it saves me having to put forks on the Massey Ferguson when I don't need to. So the Massey Ferguson is rapidly becoming not a loader tractor, but something, oops, too far. Something that I can do jobs like this. Just run a skid steer around, or do small bale, or do round bales, do tedding, do windrowing. Oops, let's okay. And this, I've never had an easy time getting these storage facilities loaded with seed, lime, and fertilizer. Liquid is easy, but the solids, just not very happy. So having the skid steer here is definitely going to be useful, so that we don't have pallets of stuff lying around and I have to strong arm them into where they need to be stored. Stop dragging the spikes across the ground, and there we go. So we'll run the Massey Ferguson and the low loader back to the other farm. To find somewhere to put this thing. Done. And done. Okay. I think maybe store it around here. How'd you like this as a plan? Now I can't see. There we go. Oops. Okay, engine off. Engine off. This thing, as I said, we'll take this back over to the other yard. Ooh, let's lift it off the ground. That would probably be the best plan. The other thing I have been thinking, this tractor could possibly use a small grain cart, so that we can order in mineral feed at the mineral feed bunker and just transfer it over to the cow shed. And it's something I've been saying for ages. Kind of miss the 8,000 litre Brentner little Brantner trailers that I used to use back on law folds for cow food, no, pig food and the likes. Anyway, you know. What's that? Ah, I thought something had gone missing. Okay, well. Yay. Okay, we will very carefully sneak this back in here. Put it down. Okay, well, that was... I was thinking, I'm sure I had a field service trailer around here somewhere, and why isn't it there? Well, it vanished. The ground swallowed it up. Anyway, so we have this done. Put this back where I found it. I'm not sure 3,900 is going to be a good number for surviving the night. Not that we have to survive the night right now. But, drop. Thank you. Okay, put the Massey Ferguson away, which is close to needing another service. So, next week we need to mow some grass, feed the cows, and move on to April 2 and look at some contracts if there are any left. But I think for right now, thank you for joining us on Maypole Farm. As I said, we'll be back next week. Hope you have a good weekend, good week, and for right now, I think I'm out of here. Have fun, everybody.